What if the biggest reason you are struggling isn't your study schedule? It isn't your intelligence. It isn't even your discipline. What if the problem is your heart? The exam is never the highlight, but the person God is changing you into is. Disclaimer: this video is for lazy and ambitious aspirants just like me. I used to also struggle with my preparation. I didn't have anyone to, tell what is going wrong with me or where am I failing, what was my weaknesses. But it was God who guided me. It was God who taught me the hardest lessons. You will never find such content in internet. I did not find any. If you find something like this, okay, well and good. But since I did not find any, and since this helped me a lot with my preparation, that's why I'm here to share with you the lessons that I learned, the things that I changed, what actually worked for me this time that helped me crack this exam. If you want motivation, you can go someplace else. This place is not for motivation. This video is going to break you. It's going to show all your weaknesses, all the things that is wrong with you. Now you have to accept the fact that you are not enough right now, and you have to have that mentality or the attitude to change. I will share all of this. You can stick till the end and listen to all of it, but I am not here saying what I'm telling you is going to work out for you. You have to find it out yourself. You have to dissect, you have to discern, and only then you have to accept whatever I'm telling is right or wrong, or whatever I'm telling is going to be beneficial for you or not. See, I cannot come to you and say, okay, if you do this, you will be successful, or if you do this, you will be able to crack this exam. No, there is no such blueprint there. It is very personal. What you have to go through, the lessons that you have to learn, because everyone is different, right? Every individual is different. Our approaches cannot be the same. So you can listen to it, of course, and you can figure it out by yourself. What is wrong with you, where you're failing, and what are your weak points, and then you can deal with it. And for sure, if you deal with the root problem, if you deal with your heart, everything else will fall into its place, and then you will be able to succeed in your life. Now it's time for the heart checkup. This is the self reflection time. What I would recommend you to do is to write down some of the important questions that you have to ask yourself. Be honest to yourself. You're not going to put it out there for other people to see. This is for only you to see. First of all, why are you doing this? Why does this exam matter to you? What is the purpose? What is your intention? Why are you doing what you're doing? You have to ask, why am I appearing for this exam? What is my intention? What is the outcome that I'm expecting? Where do I see myself after this exam? All of these are very honest, raw questions that you have to ask yourself. The next question you have to ask is, for whom are you doing this? Are you doing this for family or for yourself? Are you doing this for money or fame, or a good life ahead? Or are you doing it for the Lord, for God's glory, to honor God? See, whatever your profession be, what I'm trying to say here is, you cannot do it for your family. You cannot do it for yourself either. You cannot do it for money, fame, or whatever, name it. No, all for the glory of God. Now, whatever profession you have to sit down and you have to figure it out yourself. How can I honor God with the profession that I have? How can I honor God in the place that I am, or in the career that I'm stepping into, or whatever is after this exam? Only then will you be able to face this exam the right way. You might be going through a lot of different things, but you're not able to find wisdom. You're not able to figure out what is happening in my life. Why is this constant setbacks, constant failures happening in my life? With all due respect, there is something wrong, and you have to figure it out by yourself. I cannot help you, neither your parents nor your friends. Nobody can help you. You have to figure out what the problem is. This is a time of self awareness. Who am I? What am I doing? Why do I want this? Why do I have to write this exam? Even if I want this career, or even if I want to pursue this, what is my intention? Is it for myself, for my own glory, or is it for the glory of the Lord? Is it to honor the Lord? Whatever profession be it, how can I honor God through my profession? And if you see yourself writing something so against the will of God, or what God would intend you to be, you have to rewrite it. തിരുത്തി എഴുതേണ്ട വന്നാൽ തിരുത്തി എഴുതിക്കോണം. Because see, if you're doing it for yourself, if you're doing it so that your family be proud, or if you're doing it to make someone else happy, I'm telling you, your family, nobody around you will ever be satisfied where you are. They are never going to be like, oh, you did this well and good, now you're all set for life. No, things will come, keep coming. But you, if only your focus is in the right place, if only you're setting your eyes on the Lord and Savior, if only you are focusing on the right things in life, if only you're doing it for the Lord, then you will actually have peace about it. Choose to live a purpose driven life than passive living. Let me tell about my case. Growing up, people used to ask me when I was a child, what is your ambition in life? To be very honest, I had no answer. I had no ambition. And even if I was supposed to die tomorrow, I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, it's better to live, but it's better to die tomorrow than to live this horrible life. But during this past few months, God has taught me a very important lesson in life, that this life is precious. God has gifted you such a beautiful life. You have all that you need, right, for a godly life. That's what the scripture says. Now, He has given you such a beautiful life, and now you are saying, I don't want to live. Why do I want to live this horrible life? We are not appreciating this life enough. We are not appreciating the breath that we have in our nostrils. We are not appreciating enough how much blessed we are to live this life. First thing, you have to have a purpose driven life, not a passive living. എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ആവട്ടെ. Let God do whatever He wants to do. Let God take me to whatever places He wants, to lead me to. That is passive living. The scripture always, encourages you to have a life where you have desires, where you are passionate. You have a purpose, you have a goal in life. It's not passive living. And with the right drive and the right attitude, I'm telling you, no one can stop you. Neither your exhaustion, neither the toughest days, neither. No. Of course, it's all going to come, but none of it is going to stop you. You will never reach a point where you're stuck in life, because there is that drive, there is a purpose for you. Next, very important thing is dealing with the real enemy, the internal battle. There will be times where you will doubt. There will be times where you're going to question. There is fear, there is pride, there is doubt, there is disappointment, there is self negative talk. That, being children of God, it's not the enemy, it's nobody else talking to you, it's you yourself talking to you. You think that is okay, right? You have that self pity, self sympathy, that is not from God. That is in no way honoring God. Rather, that is a sign of disbelief, unbelief. That is a sign of not trusting in the Lord. That is a sign of saying, I am bigger than God. There is that me, I, everything is I am not good enough, I am failing, I am this, I am that, I. You have to replace the eyes with God. God is still faithful. God will do what He has promised. God will take me to my destination when the time is right. I was someone who used to give in to it. But then I realized it is easier to give in, but it is so much more difficult to open your mouth and refute it. To open your mouth and say words of faith. To open your mouth and repeat scriptures, verses. In 2 Corinthians 10:5, it reads, take every thought captive to obey Christ. This is probably the clearest verse for refuting negative thought. And one more verse that comes in Romans chapter 4, verse 18. It reads, who contrary to hope, in hope believed, so that he became the father of many nations. That's about Abraham. Against all hopes, ആശയ്ക്ക് വിരോധമായ ആശയോടെ, to believe, to hope that, okay, my life, my reality is this, but still I'm going to hope in the Lord. I'm going to trust in the Lord. ആശയ്ക്ക് വിരോധമായ ആശയോടെ. Now, there is deliverance in that. There will not be any people or any prophets who are going to put your hands on your head in your weekdays and say, Mole, God is going to do this and that for you. There is not going to be anyone to pray for you. In the sense, there are people praying for you. Okay, even in my exam, that's one thing I missed out in my other video. There were a lot of people praying for me. My church, people I don't even know. I didn't even know they were praying for me. Right, during my exam, during my preparation, people, God reminded them of me, and they were praying for me. എന്നേക്കാൾ അധികമായി എൻ്റെ വിജയം അവർ ആഗ്രഹിച്ചു. And I would love to extend my gratitude to all such people who had prayed for me. I don't know you, Maybe probably you might not have told me about it, but thank you for praying for me. Yeah. So there will be people praying for you, of course, but in person, ആവശ്യമുള്ള സമയത്ത്, when you're alone, there is no one around you. And when this all this negativity comes in, you don't have anyone around you to put hands on your head, or to just hold your hands and pray for you. That is the time you have to start refuting, and you are standing against your own flesh, your own thoughts, and you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to what the scripture says. I'm going to listen to what all promises God has given me. The next thing is discipline. എന്നെപ്പറ്റി എൻ്റെ കുഞ്ഞിലെ തൊട്ട് എൻ്റെ വീട്ടുകാർ പറയുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്, ഞാൻ ഒട്ടും ഡിസിപ്ലിൻഡ് അല്ല, വളരെ ലേസി ആയിട്ടൊരു കിഡാണ്. ലേസിനെസ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ്. നമ്മൾ ഇൻ്റലിജൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കാം, പക്ഷെ വി ആർ ലേസി, അപ്പം ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും ഡിസിപ്ലിൻ ആയിരുന്നില്ല. മൈ സിബ്ലിങ്സ് ദേ വർ മച്ച് മോർ ഡിസിപ്ലിൻ ദൻ മീ. ഇൻ സ്റ്റഡി, ദേ ഹാഡ് ദറ്റ് പ്രോപ്പർ സ്കെഡ്യൂൾ. സ്കൂൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ് വന്നായിരുന്നു പഠിക്കും, ഹോംവർക്ക് ചെയ്യും, എല്ലാം. സോ എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും തോന്നുന്ന പോലെ, മൈൻഡ് വരുന്ന പോലെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു പഠിക്കാമെന്ന് തോന്നുമ്പം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ സ്ട്രെസ് വരുമ്പോൾ മാത്രം വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളായിരുന്നു ഞാൻ. ബട്ട് ഡ്യൂറിങ് ദിസ് പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ ഐ റിയലൈസ്ഡ് ലൈഫ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് ഗോണ ബി ദ സെയിം എനിമോർ. Things are not going to be same. I have to grow up. I have to show up more often. And I understood I have to deal with my spiritual life. I have to deal with what goes into my plate. I had to deal with my sleep schedule, everything. First thing in the morning, to surrender to the Lord, not to tick off a checklist, but it is a kind of dependence. God, I cannot start this day without actually coming to you first. I need your strength. I know, okay, what all I need to study, everything is there, but I need you. I cannot do this without you. From the time I wake up to the time I sleep, I go back to my bed, I need you. Because otherwise my own thoughts is against me, people around me, there is no one to support me. Even when I'm studying, there are all these thoughts. Do I know enough? Am I doing enough? Should I do more? Or what should I do? There are all these things, the anxiety that is coming in. So I need God. I am so dependent on God that I need to, even if it's 5 minutes, it's okay. I'm not telling, I wanted to spend like 1 hour in the mornings, right? It never happened. But still, God was faithful. He used to speak to me through things. Whenever I get the free time, I listen to sermons, at least. I listen to Christian content, and then at least through that, God is speaking to me. Or it's just that small whispers that you hear when you're studying, or when you're doing something else. It's a small whispers. That's how God used to speak to me. But that is no excuse to not have a disciplined spiritual life. You have to read your word, you have to pray, you have to start your mornings with the Lord. Not just mornings, throughout the day, you have to stay connected with the Lord. See, when you're studying, it's easier to drift away, it's easier to focus only on study. That's one more thing. Idolizing studies, I was so against it. One of the reasons I struggled to sit for hours is because I was thinking I'm idolizing studies. I hated, because whenever you're doing something, whenever you're with your family, whenever you're doing the chores, all that you think about is now study. Do I know enough? The portion, okay, now I cannot give time for God, I cannot give time for family, I cannot give time for anything else. I have to sit and study. That is in a way idolizing studies. Don't do that. Now how can you change? The way I changed it, I changed my perspective, I changed my purpose. Why am I studying? I am studying so that in the future I will be able to honor God. The same factor that was idolized now becomes my source of worship. Now I'm worshiping God through my studies. My intention was wrong then, but now my intention is being made right. Now I'm worshiping God with the time that I get in studies, because now I have to be faithful. This worship is not just about singing a song and praying and reading the word. No, worship is also about your living, your day-to-day life, everything that you do in a day. If you're scrolling through Instagram 2 hours or 3 hours a day, are you worshiping God through that? In what ways are you worshiping? If you're talking to someone or your friend or someone, what all conversations do you have? Let's just we will do that some other time. So you have to worship God in everything that you do. And one more thing, do not make a list, a priority list, and place God first and be like, okay, God is my priority, God is the first in my priority list. What happens when there is something else that comes up? Then God comes down, and whatever else, your studies probably, or your family probably, or your loved ones, or something as your health, it comes up. What God taught me is, it's not a list. Don't see it differently. It's not a list with God in the first this thing. It's God in the center, and everything revolving, as that song says. Jesus is the center and everything revolves around him. Your studies, your health, your family, your career, everything is revolving around him. Jesus is the reason why there is all of these things, and Jesus is the reason you are able to keep the momentum. That's how you have to see life. And the next thing, waking up on time. See, I didn't have to wake up in the mornings. People say you have to wake up, that's the most productive time of the day. For me personally, even if, because I'm at home, right, I have nothing else to do, I just have to do the chores of the house, and there is nothing else going on in life. So it's okay, even if I don't wake up early in the morning, I'm able to cover up like 12 hours or 10 hours or 9 hours of studies that day. I used to wake up by 8 and 9 or 10, some days even 10. Now that used to mess up my whole day. Though I wanted to wake up early, though I used to say, Lord, please wake me up. God, some days God did wake me up, but my body is so against me. I just cannot get out of my bed. I know, okay, Shalom, എനിക്ക് സമയമായി ദൈവം ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുന്നു, എനിക്ക് ഞാനിങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഒറ്റ മിനിറ്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് then I wake up after like 1 or 2 hours, and then the whole day is gone. Then I understood I don't have to put in that pressure. Okay, I know that pressure, I mean, you have to wake up in the mornings. Even my parents used to scold me, it's not right, you have to wake up in the mornings, but I am simply not able to, right? But God is so good. As I said, my reason for waking up early was so that I can wake up on time on during the exam day, right? On the exam day. But God was so good. I got a sender so close to my home that I didn't have to wake up early also. I could wake up in my proper usual time, 6:30, and I could go for my exams. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to look into what people say and put that burden, unnecessary burden on you. If you have the time, I mean, if you're working or if you need that extra time, you can of course wake up in the mornings. And waking up in the morning and seeking the Lord, always I would encourage that. I also want to do that, but I am not able to do that. But someday I believe and I pray that someday I will also attain that very well disciplined spiritual life. I pray and I hope that in the name of Jesus. Yeah. Now about the breaks that I used to get. People say you shouldn't scroll on phones. Like I had my phone. The kind of relief that I used to get was scrolling through YouTube. Insta no, but YouTube, yeah. I would just watch some long videos and spend my time like that. And also one more thing I did was I had the chores of my house. So maybe that's laundry, maybe that's washing dishes. One thing about doing chores is you get that instant reward. Because studying it's not instant. You are just doing something, you don't even know whether it's going to benefit you in the future. But when you're doing chores, when you're doing the laundry, it's instant reward. You feel like your life is in control. Do whatever you can if you have enough time. Like if you have 6 months of preparation, the first month, take it slowly. You don't have to rush, because you know what's going to happen. If you are going to be too harsh on yourself during the first few months, the later months, which is supposed to be the most crucial months of your preparation, you are so burned out. So better you take it slowly. No one is there to judge you. You yourself have to judge what you're doing, because only you know your heart, right? But set the goals in such a way that it is going to stretch you, but not to the point it's going to crush you. So what I mean to say is, don't set them so low that after achieving it you're so comfortable and you're so prideful. Don't do that either, but at the same time make it a bit towards the range where you can attain it if you put in that little extra effort. This time I aimed for 200 plus. Okay, to be very honest, I aimed for 200 plus. I did not want just pass. I did not. When you're aiming for something higher, at least you'll get a score in that range. So it's, keep it practical, but at the same time stretch it to a point where it is achievable, but it is not too low so that you become so proud and you think, okay, I know everything, I can do this. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, how to face MCQs. So whatever exam be it, when you have MCQs, do not do the conventional way. You cannot simply, okay, this disease, I'm going to write everything related to the disease, and then I'm going to study this, I'm going to ratta marna, what do you say that, to by heart it. That's not going to work for MCQs. That's not going to work. You have to ditch the conventional way and you have to do the work smartly. I'll quickly try to share some things that I changed. Like it's not the hours that matter. If you're only able to spend 6 hours, okay, fine. If you're able to spend 9 hours, okay, well and good. If you're only able to spend like 3 hours, okay, fine. Take it slowly. You have to build the momentum, of course. You have to change it, but 6 to 8 hours a day is enough. Now, writing notes is not enough. I'm telling you, writing notes is not enough. That's what happened in my first attempts, right? I was just writing notes. I was just whole day I'm writing notes. I don't have time to revise. You have to revise. I was so lazy to revise, but I understood I have to face that laziness. I have to revise. Now you can revise in two ways, depending on your mood, right? And depending on the subject. You can do passive revision where you're just flipping through the pages. So this can work in subjects like dharma or forensic. Like there is visual memory, right? You're flipping through the pages and it's easier to recall stuff like that. The other thing is you have to do active recall where you go through the notes, you close your eyes, close the book, and now you're trying to recall, okay, what was this, now you're telling it out loud, because that is more time consuming. People don't usually do that, but I'm telling you that is one of the ways that you can actually strengthen your memory. So three things you have to note is how wisely you can read questions. You have to read the right words with with a given amount of time, right? You have to focus on the right things. You cannot read the whole thing. Next thing is how easily you can rule out options. If there are four options, the game is half done. Then you can rule out two options. You don't have to know the exact answer, okay? But you at least have to know how to rule out which all other two options are completely wrong. That is in no way going to be the answer. And thirdly, how fast and rightly you can recall the topic. Because on exam, you cannot be like, page, number, no. In order to attain that speed, attain that, one thing you have to do is, I don't know what it's called. It's like cues, like, ஒரு portion, ஒரு topic, you have to jot down like 10 words, just the words, no sentences, nothing. Just 10 words of what all is important in this portion, main points relating to this topic. Follow the clinical flow. That is, there is presentation, there is differential diagnosis, there is investigation, then there is diagnosis, and then there is the management. ആ ഒരു ഫ്ലോ കിട്ടിയാലേ ഒരു MCQും സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. അത് ഏത് സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഫ്ലോ മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ സോൾവ് ചെയ്തേണ്ടുള്ളത്, ഫ്ലോ മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. So as I said, how to prepare? There are just three things. First of all, you have to clear your concepts. Even the simplest things, the physiology, anatomy, everything is so simple. You have to clear it. Secondly, revise. Third, you have to do PYQs. Keep doing PYTs, keep doing PYQs. There is no instant reward there, right? You will mess up, you will get really low GT score. I gave GTs, I was so disappointed. But then I understood, okay, I don't have to look into this. I just have to know where I'm falling, what is my weakness, because I was doing such silly mistakes. I was not even reading the question properly. That's when I understood how silly I am. So I understood, okay, I have to deal with that. Now I have to start reading questions properly and all of that thing. The next thing is, how can you approach this question in the fastest way possible? You have to answer it, because time management is that important in exams. Especially this time management is the one thing that I failed. So you have to deal with that as well. ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ കാണുമ്പം your brain, like muscle memory ഉള്ള പോലെ, I will call that like implicit memory. Your brain knows it, this is the answer. You are not even thinking, conscious effort ഇട്ട് ഒരു തിങ്കിങ്ങും നടക്കുന്നില്ല, but just like that the answer comes. What happens most of the time is we spend time thinking, ഇത് ഇങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇന്ന വേർഡ്, അപ്പം അതിനർത്ഥം ഇത് വേറെ ആയിരിക്കും ആൻസർ. We just simply waste time thinking about it. But actually whatever our brain first says is the right answer. That's what, when our faculty, they used to say, don't think about it, mark it, no matter what. Yeah, but there are some questions that you do silly mistakes as well. So you have to be that clear with your concepts, or that clear, you have to read it properly, you have to face the questions in the right way. Only then you will be able to be that confident, right? So we come to the next topic where people ask, why do you have to include God in everything? ഒരു എക്സാം അല്ല, ഇതിന് ദൈവത്തെ എന്തിനാ ഇപ്പൊ വരച്ചിടുന്നേ? നിനക്ക് ബുദ്ധി ഉണ്ടേ നിനക്ക് പഠിച്ചൂടെ, നിനക്ക് കഴിവുണ്ടേ നിനക്ക് പഠിച്ചൂടെ? ദൈവത്തിൽ ഇതിലൊന്നും ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്ത് ദൈവത്തിന്റെ തലയിൽ ഇടരുത്. നീ ഫെയിൽ ആയത് ദൈവം എന്തോ ചെയ്തിട്ട്, നീ പഠിക്കാഞ്ഞിട്ടല്ല. ഓൾ ഓഫ് ദീസ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് nobody has asked me like that, but myself, എൻ്റെ സെൽഫ് ടോക്ക് ആണ് ഇത് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്. My own self is telling me all of these things. See, God and exam, let's just like how I shared before, you cannot separate it. Exam ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ലൈഫ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, കരിയർ ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, വർക്ക് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഫാമിലി ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഹെൽത്ത് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, you cannot separate it. God is the center of it all. You have to have God in the center of it. Exam അല്ല ഇവിടെ matter. Just like I said in the beginning, God wants to change you. If not for the struggles, if not for the troubles that you're facing, you will never become such a person. So face it like that. Don't think exam is the main villain here. You have to change, right? You have to become a better version of yourself. ഞാൻ പാതി ദൈവം പാതി, ഞാൻ അതിൽ ഒട്ടും വിശ്വസിക്കത്തില്ല. It's not, you do your 50%, God will do the rest. No. You are doing 100%, God is also doing his 100%. You have to put in that 100%. Okay, 100%, not in the definition of the world, not in the definition of what people around you say. According to you, you know that. എനിക്ക് പറ്റുന്ന അത്ര എഫേർട്ട്, എൻ്റെ റെസ്ട്രിക്ഷൻസ് അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട്, എൻ്റെ വീക്ക്നെസ് അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ എത്രത്തോളം എഫേർട്ട് എനിക്ക് എവറി ഡേ ഇടാൻ പറ്റും, അതാണ് എൻ്റെ 100%. അല്ലാതെ മറ്റൊരാൾ പറയുന്ന 100% അല്ല. So that's how you put in that 100% and then you depend on God as well. ഞാൻ പഠിച്ചു, പക്ഷെ ആ മൊമെന്റിൽ എനിക്കിത് ഓർമ്മ വരണം, ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് വായിക്കാൻ പറ്റണം, ഈ പഠിക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ ശ്രദ്ധയോടെ പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റണം. ഇത് നമുക്ക് പറ്റുമോ? നമ്മൾ എത്ര ശ്രമിച്ചാലും നമുക്ക് പറ്റുമോ? അവിടെയാണ് ഗോഡ് ഇസ് കമ്മിങ് ഇൻ. സോ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ടീം വർക്ക്. യു ആർ നോട്ട് ഡൂയിങ് ഇറ്റ് അലോൺ ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ലൈക്ക് ദൈവത്തിന് അത് കൊടുത്തിട്ട് പ്രൊജക്ട് ഹാൻഡ് ഓവർ ചെയ്യുന്നതല്ല. You and God, it's like a teamwork, co-studying എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. God is right with you. Now you're doing this, okay, with his help, like a teacher. നമ്മുടെ ഒരു വെരി ക്ലോസ് ടീച്ചർ പോലെ നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ഇരുന്ന് നമ്മൾ സഹായിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ദൈവം. ആൻഡ് പ്രൈഡ്, ഇത്രയും ദൈവത്തെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റണമെങ്കിൽ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, നമ്മൾ അത്രത്തോളം ഹമ്പിൾ ആയിരിക്കണം. ഇഫ് യു ആർ നോട്ട് ഹമ്പിൾ ഇനഫ് യു കനോട്ട്. ഇത് ഞാൻ വെറുതെ പറയുന്നതല്ല, ഇത് എൻ്റെ ലൈഫാണ്. ഐ വാസ് സോ പ്രൗഡ്. എനിക്ക് ദൈവം എന്തെങ്കിലും വേണ്ടതുപോലെ ചെയ്തോ, എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് തോന്നുന്നില്ല. ദൈവം ഇപ്പം അങ്ങനെ എൻ്റെ ലൈഫിൽ ഇത്രയും ഫെയിലിയേഴ്സ് ദൈവം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ദൈവം ചെയ്തോട്ടെ, ദൈവത്തിന് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള ദൈവം ചെയ്യട്ടെ. അതല്ല, അത് മാറ്റി വെച്ചിട്ട് ദെൻ are you able to say, Lord, please, I beg you for your mercies, like how the psalmist says, have mercy on me, Lord. It takes a lot more humility. ആ ഈഗോ മാറ്റി വെച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ എന്തോ സംഭവമാണോ, എനിക്ക് ദൈവത്തോട് ബെഗ് ചെയ്യാനൊന്നും പറ്റത്തില്ല. യു ഗെറ്റ് വാട്ട് ഐ ആം സേയിങ്? ആ അത്രത്തോളം ഐ വാസ് പ്രൗഡ്. ബിക്കോസ് സീ ഡ്യൂറിങ് മൈ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ, ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ വീഡിയോ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഐ വാസ് ഡൂയിങ് എവറിത്തിങ് ഓക്കെ, ബട്ട് സംവെയർ എനിക്ക് ദൈവത്തെ പറ്റി ഓർക്കുമ്പോൾ, പഠിക്കുന്നു, പക്ഷെ ദൈവത്തെ പറ്റി ഓർക്കുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് എന്തോ ഞാൻ ഭയങ്കര ദൂരെ, ഞാനല്ല ദൈവം ഭയങ്കര ദൂരെ നിൽക്കുന്ന പോലെ. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ഓർക്കും, എന്തുവാ ഇത്, എനിക്കെന്താ ശരിയാവുന്നില്ല, ഒന്നും കൂടെ ശരിയാവുന്നില്ല. And I asked God, Lord, please, what is this? Why do I feel so distant from you? I'm doing everything right. I'm reading the word, I'm praying, I'm studying, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. And then God says, it's pride. നീ ഭയങ്കര പ്രൗഡാ, നീ ചെയ്യുന്നത് കാരണമാണ് നീ സക്സസ്ഫുൾ ആകാൻ പോകുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നീ എക്സാം ജയിക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന നിനക്കൊരു ചിന്തയുണ്ട്, നീ ചെയ്യുന്നതെല്ലാം നിന്റെ കഴിവാണ്, നിനക്കൊരു ചിന്തയുണ്ട്. ഇത് ഞാൻ പറയാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ നമ്മുടെ ഇന്റൻഷനാണ്, നമ്മുടെ ഹാർട്ട്. അത് എനിക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല, എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ എന്തോ നടക്കുന്നത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആർക്കും ഗസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. ബട്ട് ഗോഡ് നോസ് ഇറ്റ്. സോ ഗോഡ് ഡീൽസ് വിത്ത് ഈച്ച് വൺ ഓഫ് us individually. It's unique every time. My life experiences is not your life experience. I am just here to share what all happened in my life, so that if there is someone who is going through the same things like me, I want to reassure you that you're in the right place. God is teaching you the right things. You just have to trust him with this, and one day you will see the light in the end of the tunnel. Take away your pride. You do not need any pride when you're with the Lord. ദൈവത്തോട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാനും, ദൈവത്തോട് ബെഗ് ചെയ്യാനും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദൈവത്തോട് കരുണയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി അപേക്ഷിക്കാൻ പ്രൈഡ് കാണിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറയട്ടെ, എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ പേരൻസിനോട് അവർ എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി എല്ലാം തരുന്നുണ്ട്, പക്ഷെ നാളെ എനിക്കൊരു ആവശ്യം വരുമ്പം അവരോട് എനിക്കിങ്ങനെ പ്ലീസ് അപ്പം എനിക്ക് തരും, ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യത്തില്ല. എനിക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ അവരെനിക്ക് തരും, എന്തോ ആണെങ്കിലും അവർ. പക്ഷെ ടു ബെഗ് സമൺ പ്ലീസ് ഡു ദിസ് ഫോർ മീ, ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാത്ത ആളാണ്. സോ ഞാൻ ആ സെയിം അപ്രോച്ചാണ് ദൈവത്തോട് കാണിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ബട്ട് ദെൻ ഗോഡ് ഇസ് ബ്രേക്കിംഗ് ഇറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ടെലിംഗ് മീ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് ദ വേ യു ആർ സപ്പോസ് ടു അപ്രോച്ച് മീ. ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് ടു ബെഗ്, ബിക്കോസ് സീ ഇത് എന്നെ കൊണ്ട് കഴിയാത്ത അവസ്ഥയാണെന്ന് അറിയുമ്പോഴേ നമുക്ക് അത്രയും ബെഗ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. എന്നെ ദൈവം അത്രത്തോളം കടത്തി വിട്ടു ടു എ പോയിന്റ് വെയർ നൗ റിയലൈസ് ഇത് എന്നെ കൊണ്ട് ഒക്കുന്ന കാര്യമല്ല. ഐ ഹാവ് ടു സറണ്ടർ, ഐ ഹാവ് ടു ബെഗ് ഇഫ് ഐ നീഡ് ടു. ബിക്കോസ് അണ്ടിൽ തന്നെ ഞാൻ ഒന്ന് സെറ്റാക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സെറ്റാവുന്ന കാര്യം. പക്ഷെ then I realized this is, ഇപ്പം സം പീപ്പിൾ സേ ദൈവം നമുക്ക് പറ്റുന്നതിന് അപ്പുറം പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ തരത്തില്ലെന്ന്. I am so against it. See, ദൈവം തരും. Temptations God will not give, but trials, he will give you trials more than you can handle, so that you will finally surrender to God. Lord, I cannot do this, I need your help. I am not able to do this, I need your help. Remember, don't force yourself. ഞാൻ നമ്മുടെ സെൽഫിനെ ഒത്തിരി പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുത്ത് പറയുമല്ല, പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ ഒത്തിരി ഫോഴ്സ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഒത്തിരി ബേൺഡ് ഔട്ട് ആവും. നോ യുവർ പേസ്, നോ വാട്ട് ഇസ് റോങ് വിത്ത് യു, ഹൗ കെൻ യു ഡീൽ വിത്ത് ഇൻ. ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് ലൈക്ക് മന്ത്സ്, ഒരു മന്ത്ലി ഷെഡ്യൂൾ വെക്കണം. എവറി മന്ത് വാട്ട് യു ആർ ഗോണ ഡു. ഇപ്പം ഞാൻ തന്നെ ഐ ട്രൈ ടു ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ദാറ്റ്. I had several subjects in the beginning of my preparation. All subjects, maybe 1 or 2 subjects, except that all subjects were in my column of weak subjects. Then I said, okay, I'll give 1 or 2 months for this. Now I will shift that to mid. It's okay, right? But എങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ റിയലൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന വീക്ക് സബ്ജക്ട്സ് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, when you thinking about this subject, okay, internal medicine, ഒരു കുന്തം അറിയത്തില്ല, ലൈക്ക് ഇറ്റ്സ് ലൈക്ക് ഒരു ഭയങ്കര ബ്ലർ, ഫോഗി എഫക്റ്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ, ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ചെയ്തത്, ഫോഗി എഫക്റ്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ എനിക്ക് ഒന്നും അറിയത്തില്ല. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ ഓർക്ക് ENT, കുഴപ്പമില്ല, ഒന്ന് റിവിഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്ക് ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഓടിച്ച് വായിച്ച് കഴിയുമ്പോഴത്തേനും ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേനും എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും. അപ്പോൾ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ലൈക്ക് എ മിഡ് സബ്ജക്ട്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്തു. ബൈ ദി എൻഡ് ഓഫ് ദ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ every subject should be your strong subjects. എല്ലാ സബ്ജക്ട്സ് അങ്ങോട്ട് മാറ്റുക ആൻഡ് അതിനെ എന്തോ റിവിഷൻസിന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള നോട്ട്സും ഉണ്ടാക്കുക. സെയിം നോട്ട്ബുക്കിൽ തന്നെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സെയിം നോട്ട്സിൽ തന്നെ റിവിഷൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പം എത്രത്തോളം ഈസിലി യു ക്യാൻ റീകോൾ സ്റ്റഫ്, എത്രത്തോളം ഈസിലി യു ക്യാൻ റിവൈസ് ഇറ്റ് എന്ന രീതിയിൽ യു ഹാവ് ടു jot down some points there as well. And ആവശ്യബോധം is one thing that will drive you like crazy. As I said, this is my last attempt. I am not going to give one more attempt. അത് എനിക്കിങ്ങനെ വന്നപ്പോഴാണ് എനിക്ക് എന്ത് വന്നാലും അതൊരു നല്ല കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് പ്രഷറാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് വൈ you have no time, you have that pressure, and also there is the relief that comes. ഇനി എന്ത് വന്നാലും കാര്യമില്ല, I'm not going to give one more attempt. So this is it. So I have just 2 more months and finally I'll be done with it. എന്നൊരു റിലീഫുണ്ട്. ആ റിലീഫിലും ഒരു പ്രഷറുണ്ട്. അപ്പം ആ ഒരു സാധനം വേണം. ഇനി ഞാൻ എന്തിനാ 10 അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് കൊടുക്കുന്നേ? അത് ലോകം പറയുന്നതാണോ നിനക്ക് പറ്റത്തില്ലായിരിക്കും, നീ 3-4 അറ്റംപ്റ്റ്, നിന്റെ മനസ്സ് പറയാം ഒരു 3-4 അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് കൊടുത്താലേ ഈ കാര്യം നടക്കത്തുള്ളൂ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഡോണ്ട് ലിസൺ ടു ദാറ്റ്. എനിക്ക് എന്ത് വന്നാലും കാര്യമില്ല, ഐ ആം കേപ്പബിൾ. സി, നോ വൺ ഇസ് സ്റ്റുപ്പിഡ്. ഐ ആം ടെല്ലിങ് യു, ആരും സ്റ്റുപ്പിഡ് അല്ല. ആർക്കും ബുദ്ധി ഇല്ലാഞ്ഞിട്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പഠിക്കാൻ ഇന്റലക്ട് ഇല്ലാഞ്ഞിട്ടോ അല്ല. We are not doing it the right way. Approach life, be that exam, be that whatever, approach it the right way, know the root cause, and then you face it in the right way, so that in the end things will make sense. Now you're sorted. Now for me, now I need PG edutante vannalum I am sorted, right? Now I know how to face life, how to, of course I will learn a lot more things then, പക്ഷേ now I know, okay, എന്താണ് ഇനി ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, എവിടെയാണ് എൻ്റെ സെറ്റ് ബാക്സ്, ഞാൻ എന്തുവാന്ന് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി, നമ്മുടെ ഒരു അവയർനെസ് കിട്ടി. ഓക്കെ, എന്തുവാണ് എൻ്റെ പ്രശ്നം, അപ്പം ഞാൻ അതിനനുസരിച്ച് എൻ്റെ ലൈഫ് കൊണ്ട്, നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് someone in the internet says, okay, ഇങ്ങനെ അങ്ങനെ അത് വെച്ച് എനിക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ that's what I'm trying to say. Don't listen to me. Someone in the internet is selling this and that. This is not going to work for you probably, but find out what works for you. Don't listen, don't compare your way, because you're unique, you're different. God has made you like for a reason. So accept that and do whatever works for you. But have that pressure also. ദൈവത്തിന് വേണ്ടി എന്നോണം, that right purpose, right pressure, and then you will see yourself, reaching to the point very soon. Very soon you will see God doing that for you. Because ഇതിലെല്ലാം നമ്മൾ അറിയേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യം, എക്സാം അല്ല ഇവിടുത്തെ ഹീറോ. God is the hero. Jesus is the hero. Now when you change, when you start to put in that effort, and എനിക്ക് ജീവിക്കണം, എനിക്ക് ഡിസിപ്ലിൻഡ് ആകണം, എനിക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ പോയാൽ പറ്റത്തില്ല, എനിക്ക് ദൈവത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ദൈവനാമം ദുഷിക്കാതിരിക്കാൻ എനിക്കിത് ചെയ്തേ പറ്റൂ എന്നൊരു സാധനം കൂടി വരുമ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, without you knowing, your mind is now set on in the right way, your heart is now in the right place. Now you can do it without you even realizing. So live intentionally. And I know for sure people will come up to me and testify of the Lord's goodness, because this is not about you. This is not about the exam. This is not about the struggles. Of course, I did speak about it, but I don't want to focus on my struggles or the things that I went through. A lot of things I haven't even shared in my video. But that adinalla importance. What God is doing, how God is changing you, adinana importance. You are becoming a better individual. You Christu enna thalayolam valaranam. That's what the word says, right? അത് വരെ ദൈവം നമ്മളെ ഒടയ്ക്കും പണിയും. എക്സാം ഇസ് ജസ്റ്റ് വൺ വേ ഓഫ് ഡൂയിങ് ഇറ്റ്. ഇനി ലൈഫിൽ എന്തൊക്കെ വരാൻ കിടക്കുന്നു, നമ്മൾ ഒടയപ്പെടും, നമ്മൾ തകരപ്പെടും. ഇതൊരു എക്സാം ആണ് നമ്മൾ തകർക്കുന്നത്. എൻ്റെ 2 വർഷം എക്സാം തകർത്തു, പക്ഷെ എത്രയൊക്കെ കാര്യം എൻ്റെ ലൈഫിൽ നടത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ടെന്ന് പറയും. എന്നെ ഒത്തിരി തകർത്ത, ഇമോഷണലി എന്നെ തകർത്ത കാര്യങ്ങൾ, സ്പിരിച്വലി എന്നെ തകർത്ത കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒത്തിരി നടന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ അത് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നില്ല. This exam thing, it just changed my life in a way where now I am a lot different than how I used to be, a better version of myself. So that's what I want to encourage you. God is with you in this, and He will do what He has promised. Keep trusting in Him. എന്ത് വന്നാലും കുഴപ്പമില്ല, keep trusting in Him and keep telling it yourself, it's okay. Even in the next attempt that you're giving, if you're going to fail, you should be like, it's okay even if I fail, I will still choose to believe in this God. I will still choose to worship Him and please Him with your faith. And finally, let me conclude. I think the video is really long. But thank you for sticking till the end and listening to all of it. I mean, അത് കാണിക്കുന്നത് ദൈവം അത് ഓണർ ചെയ്യും. Because ഈ ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ it's very difficult for us to watch such long videos. Simply someone is sitting and talking something, right? It's very difficult. Neither can I. Probably I will put that in 1.5x and listen to it. May God bless you. I think I've covered it all. Thank you for all the beautiful comments and all the stories that you mentioned in my comments for the last video. I'm so happy, because I was so hesitant to upload it as well, but then I realized there is nothing for me to lose, right? I don't have an image to lose there, because if I must decrease and Christ must increase. So even if I have to be vulnerable there, it's okay, because God's name is being lifted now, and a lot of them are being turned back to His presence, and that's all that I care about. I don't think you should never follow a person. You should never, blindly believe what someone is telling. Everything dissect, discern, and then only accept. Discern with the Spirit of the Lord. Then only you can accept it. Okay, so thank you. God bless you.